Hello, and welcome to Warren High School 2021-22 school year. Our goal for the 2021-22 school year is to prepare every student with the rigorous academic experience that will enable them to become effective communicators, lifelong learners, and collaborative, productive citizens. Our mission statement: we believe every student has the right to the highest quality of education and job-related training. We will work to cultivate a safe and positive environment while encouraging all students to achieve their highest potential. Arrival for school days at WHS. Car riders cannot be dropped off before 7:35. You are to go to the band practice field in front of the high school until the bell rings. Bus riders will go to your designated areas that are determined by your bus routes. You will see signs, and there will also be staff members out directing you the first few days of school. Student drivers, you are not allowed in the parking lot until 7:40 a.m. and you are not allowed out of your cars until 7:45 a.m. There will also be staff members outside on the parking lot assisting you with the time to get out of your vehicles and enter into the building. There will be random temperature checks, hand sanitizing stations at the entrances. Students will report directly to their first period classrooms. If it is raining or the temperature is below 40 degrees, all teachers will be in their rooms by 7:30 so their students can report to their classrooms. And there's also a link for our school year 21-22 calendar. Breakfast. Students will be served breakfast at 8:48 in their second period classrooms. Students will sanitize hands before and after eating. Students will eat breakfast at their desk. Breakfast will end at 9:07 a.m. Students will remain in their second period classrooms at the conclusion of breakfast for second period. Classroom, restroom, and water breaks. Emergency breaks will be granted, documented, and tracked on a one-to-one basis. If a student is recognized as abusing the emergency bathroom break, he or she will lose their privileges and have to go at an assigned time. There will be cone cups placed at every water fountain, along with trash cans to prevent students from drinking directly from water fountains. Students, you may bring your water bottles to be refilled at hands-free water fountains. Health and safety. Efforts will be made to limit social interaction, including classroom arrangements as feasible. Also minimize transition times. Physical distancing will be practiced where feasible. Frequent sanitation of surfaces and buildings. Students and staff will stay home when they are not feeling well and or have been exposed to COVID-19. Vaccinated students and staff who have been exposed to COVID-19 but have no symptoms will be allowed to attend school and work. Contact tracing will be conducted by the Arkansas Department of Health and the school district's nurse, Mrs. Mahogany Lewis. In the event an individual tests positive, we will follow the latest guidance from the Arkansas Department of Health and DC. If a student comes to school sick, the school nurse or designee will screen the student and check the child's temperature. If the temperature is over the Arkansas Department of Health guidance, the student will be sent home and will need to be fever-free for 48 hours without medication before returning to school. When the child returns to school, the school nurse or designee will check the child's temperature. Health and safety continue. If a student or staff member becomes sick at school, teachers will notify the office. A school nurse will come and assess the student. A room has been designated in the building for 6 students. The school nurse or designee will be responsible for responding to COVID-19 concerns and training staff on safety. Teachers will follow the building procedure of screening themselves at home daily before coming to school, and they will also report it on our school's website page that we have. Parents are asked to screen their children daily before allowing them to come to school. Random temperature checks of students will take place. Our curriculum. Teachers will provide daily instruction in person and on site. Teachers will follow the district curriculum. Students will enhance learning through their digital content. Teachers will check grades regularly and communicate with students and parents. Already assessments will be used to determine achievement gaps, and necessary personalized instructional plans will be created for students. Lunch times. Students will end the cafeteria on one hallway. There will be a limit of students allowed to eat in the cafeteria. There will be 2 lunch periods. Students who bring their lunches or participate in the grab and go lunches will be allowed to sit outside and eat if the weather is permitting. Students will also sanitize hands before and after lunch. Tables will be sanitized before and after each lunch. Students may bring their lunch, but no outside deliveries will be allowed. Transitioning to and from SEACBEC. Students will enter SEACBEC from the sidewalk coming from WHS into the main front door and exit SEACBEC from the east front door. Students must remain on the sidewalk and use the crosswalk closest to the stop sign to cross and enter WHS. Student support services. We have mental health providers that will be on campus and will meet with students by appointment only at SEACBEC. The mental health providers we have are Pinnacle Point, Delta Counseling, Quapaw, OT, PT, and speech. Our school counselors, Mrs. Nicole Robinson and Mrs. Jonna McMurray, will be available to support students, families, and teachers. WHS special education teachers and staff will work with families to meet the needs of their students. Technology. Each student will be issued an Apple iPad through the school district. Parents and students will be required to sign a technology user agreement and iPad agreement with the district. Students will be able to purchase an optional iPad annual insurance for $30. Dismissal times. Upon exiting the building, students will return to their designated bus and car rider areas. Teachers will ensure that their classrooms are disinfected and wiped down. The school day will end at 3:13 p.m. Car riders must be picked up in the front of the high school. They will not be allowed to go to the back of the school for pickup. iPad pickup. All students will receive their iPads during the first week of school. New students to the district will receive their iPads once they are into eSchool and have an iPad set up by the tech department. Visitors entering into WHS. Visitors will not be allowed to enter the building without an appointment. There will be no outside deliveries accepted. Communications. Families and community communications will be through e-notes, texts, calls, emails, social media, school website and district website, news outlets, and the district app. If you have not signed up for e-notes, please go to our school's website and sign up. Individualized quarantine and isolation. If a student is quarantined or placed in isolation, he or she will be allowed to make up any missed assignments upon returning back to campus within a reasonable amount of time. Parents of students placed in quarantine or isolation by another health official beside our school district nurse, Lewis, will need to contact Ms. Ty Cranford at 870-226-6736. Dress code. This is a very sensitive thing here, students, so pay close attention to our dress code. The following guidelines will be used by all students and parents in determining appropriate dress and grooming both in school and at all school-sponsored events. Dress code for school and at all school-sponsored events are the same. Dress and grooming shall be in keeping with health and sanitary practices. Students may not wear clothing or hairstyles that can be disruptive to or hazardous in educational activities such as shop class, lab classes, physical education, art, cheerleading, or in some types of job training programs. Clothing or any kind of adornment with a message that is indecent, profane, offensive, drug, alcohol, tobacco related, suggestive, or inflammatory may not be worn. Footwear that is appropriate for school and other public wear is required. House shoes are not allowed. Pajamas of any kind may not be worn. Dress code continue. Headwear such as caps, hats, clothes, etc., sunglasses, heavy coats, and other such apparel should not be worn in the building. Such items must be stored in lockers during the day if you have purchased a locker for rent for the year. However, students should realize the danger of losing such items and be reminded to lock your lockers if you purchase a locker. Clothing, related accessories, symbols, or styling habits of secret organizations are not allowed. A student may not wear suggestive or revealing clothing. Such clothing includes, but is not limited to, short shorts, halter tops, cropped or short tops, bare midriffs, bare shoulders, tank tops, spaghetti straps, clothing with holes above the knees, mesh or other see-through clothing. If you have holes above your knees, you must have on some undershorts that come and cover up their skin, that covers up your skin. No holes above the knees, mesh, or any see-through clothing is allowed. Shorts and shirts must be no shorter than 2.5 inches above the knee. Tops must have at least 2.5-inch wide straps, no sagging armholes, and a body length which will cover the waist. Clothing will be worn in a manner consistent with its design. A student may not wear pants hanging or sagging below the waistline. Overalls must be worn with both straps buttoned over the shoulders, and belts must be buckled. Leggings, if you're wearing leggings, students, you must make sure that your shirt covers past your bottom. Shirts must be covering past your bottom with leggings on. Tardies. A student is tardy if he or she is not in the classroom or other assigned location by the time the tardy bell stops ringing. Generally, there are no excused tardies unless school personnel detains a student, in which case the staff member should send a note with the student to class. As part of effective classroom management, teachers will monitor tardiness in individual classrooms. Individual teachers will complete and turn in a daily tardy record at the end of each period. A student will be assigned to lunch detention for each tardy. Lunch detention will be served the day following the tardy during the first 20 minutes of the student's lunch time. A student who is absent on the day he or she is to report to detention must make up the detention at lunch on the day of his or her return to school. Students will not be admitted to lunch detention after the tardy bell has rung. All students reporting to lunch detention must bring school-related books and materials with them. Cell phone usage. Usage of cellular phones, headphones, paging device, iPods, MP3 players, and any other similar device is prohibited during normal school hours. Students will be permitted to talk on cell phones during lunch period in the free zone. The free zone will include the WHS cafeteria and the bus loading area during the students' scheduled lunchtime only. Students may also listen to music with earbuds only during lunchtime in the free zone. The school will not be responsible for lost or stolen phones or time used on a phone. Neither can school personnel spend valuable school time searching for these items when lost or stolen. We look forward to seeing you at WHS and having a great year.